And that's the way I look at them. When I was in my live earlier, I was just knick-knacking around. A gentleman came in and asked me, what is my price? That's what he said. He said, what is your price? And instead of assuming what he meant and getting all offended and all that kind of stuff, I asked him in regards to what? I mean, like what? What is my price in regards to what? Because I'm an entrepreneur. I might be down a little bit in my flowering out all of my entrepreneurial campaigns. But I'm an entrepreneur, friend. I can sell water to a dolphin, a whale, a bird, and a snake. That's my gift. So when he asked, I know just from the way that the conversation was going before that, it had gotten a little derogatory because someone had came in with a somewhat of a derogatory statement. I acted as if I expected him to answer with a business proposal. But he didn't. And the question was, would it be $1 million? First it was, would it be 10,000? And I said, well, $10,000, friend. I mean, what are we talking about? Are you talking about partnering with a business? Even though I knew where he was going with it. $10,000 is, I mean, what am I going to do with that? Honestly. And then he says, well, is it $1 million? What am I going to do with that? In the big scheme of things. And he said, is it $1 billion? And I thought about it. And today's conversation is going to be wrapped around that. You see, King Solomon, all of these people in the Bible, these are some heavy hitters. These are not little bitty peon people. That's why I tell you all, you've got to start showing, many people, not everybody, has got to start showing more regard for these people. We throw these names around like they're just Joe Blow. These were monumental kings. When you're talking about David, you're not just talking about a very wealthy man. You're talking about a man of standard. A man that was able to invoke a level of standard during the hardest trials of his life. Trials that many people don't know what it's like to be in, let alone dominate in. Yet David is dominating. He's setting the standard. He's creating the playbook. He's giving you the blueprint. There was nobody before him that did it. He does not have a mentor that he can relate to and say, okay, I saw such and such do it. I'm going to mimic them. There's no one to mimic. And he's performing at peak level. The only one that will understand this in its fullness is someone that has done such. Because the fullness of what it takes to do this, I cannot elaborate on in one sitting. We'd be sitting just elaborating on the fullness and never get to the girth of the conversation. That's how elaborate it is. Yet David is here. This is his cadence. He never comes down from here. In all of his walks, all of him running, all of his hiding, all of his ins and outs with Saul, he never comes down from here. He never breaks the standard. Without a blueprint, without a mentor, without a vision of God, without a direct word from God, he's here. This is the greatness. And because of that, he gets blessed. He's blessed beyond measure. I mean, the blessings of David, you'll weep reading if you really ingest it and really engulf yourself in it. It'll make you shed a tear. It'll make you weep. Because how can one man stand in such a monumental blessing and not allow it to corrupt him? All of God's gifts come like tests. He'll lavish them on you and then sit back and watch you and see how you handle it. Everything's a test. David was beyond a billionaire. You know, you hear people nowadays, I want to be a billionaire. I want to be a billionaire. I'm a billionaire. David was a billionaire 100 times over. A trillionaire 100 times over. Beyond measure. And he has a spoken word over his life. A powerful blessing. A promise that all that come forth from him must. There is no question about it. They must stand in. So he's wealthy. Wealthy is not even, I mean, he's stupid wealthy. He's so wealthy that it would be easy for him to lose his zest for life. He can have anything. Everybody loves him. All of his enemies are afraid of him. And God has blessed him. And all that will come forth from him. Where is the spice of life after you've reached such a level? Yet David would not lose his spice for life.